Okay, this is a response to it. There was an article in Fox Business by Mr. Sean Patel. He's kind of hashtagging humble brag there. For Mr. Patel, I think it starts off with, "Oh, the SAT is unfair because parents pay me $1,000 to help their kids." Do you think that's going to get Mr. Patel more business or less business? I personally find it a little bit grating that Mr. Patel is lecturing me from the point of view of a self-expressed expert when he's only about 30, and I've taught these things for about 30 years. A little bit like being Bill Belichick, I imagine, and having some NFL rookie coach explaining X's and O's to you. Um, but I always hear educators of various brands lamenting and wringing their hands over the unfairness of the SAT. I always say, to quote Winston Churchill, no one pretends that democracy is perfect, all wise. Indeed, democracy has been said to be the worst form of government, except better than everything else that's been tried. Insert SAT for democracy, assessment for government, right? No test is ever going to measure a student's heart, but nothing can measure that. Indisputable fact demonstrate that there's been a huge amount of grade inflation over the last quarter century, up to maybe like zero point 0.4, in the GPA from 3 to 3.4. Can you imagine the chicanery, the outright just illegality that would go on if your English teacher was the only thing standing between junior and going to Yale? So Mr. Platel saved me the platitudes. Money buys influence, money buys fame. Money can buy you the best SAT coach on the planet, but the student still has to do the work. I don't wave a magic wand and see student scores rise stratospherically. They still need to work, hard, quite hard sometimes, to learn all the strategies, tricks, and to get into the top 1%. I will say that, seeing what's her name, Olivia Jade, I don't think I would have been able to help her much. Maybe 1,000 points. I'm sorry, maybe 100, 150 points, because she wasn't interested. Right? I can do great things with a student who's engaged and wants to do well. But if you get me somebody who's just kind of a tourist, they're there, they're present, they'll learn some stuff, but you can't, you can take somebody from the 50th percentile to the 70th, but maybe not to the 90th. One other thing, which I find a little ironic, if you look up the article, Fox Business, Patel, in the, I think, 9th paragraph, he uses the word cash. That's wrong, okay? He means cachet. Cache is, a hoard of something you've been, sequestered away. They found a cache of weapons in the, in the prepper's underground bunker. What he was going for was cachet, which is, to imbue prestige. Leonard, because he owned Journey to Mystery 83, I believe, is the first appearance of Thor. That comic gave him quite a bit of cachet, in the comic book community. So just a little bit, either he didn't know it or Fox Business needs better editors because it went right by them. But that's my little rant on something that was just annoying me. Again, remember, if you disagree with me, it's just because you're wrong.